Hello.
How we doing?
We're doing okay. We were just talking before the show. I mean, it's been a 2-month grind on NFL getting it ready for the season, which has been stressful and complicated, but it's been a good kickoff for Run Pure Sports. But
big time.
I
saw that. I was just reading Big T's notes in article form. I was really enjoying that.
I really like the format, and that's something you get. We pay a lot of money to X or Twitter for the affiliate program, but that's one of the perks of it, and it's really good. I really like the format. So I thought the article was fantastic. So we've been working on that. I mean, even like, designing a graphic at that sort of sizing, it's a 4-hour project. We've been at it for a while for NFL, but it's tough. It's like, oh crap, golf is back.
Longest off season in sports.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, the field here is not bad.
It's not. No.
But these
are some good players.
Yeah, but listen, it's a very pampered week in Napa. It's probably one of the most, site-wise and I'm sure facilities-wise, it's fantastic for families and golfers. And they've got a new sponsor, Procore, which
Do you know what they do? What does Procore do?
No, I said in my tweet just now, I said you get a 5-year exemption on the tour if you know what Procore does. I'm going to say Procore, definitely in software.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Is it really?
Procore Technologies is an American construction management software company founded in 2002 with headquarters in Carpinteria, California. So they're local-ish. I mean, Carpinteria is south of Napa, but I don't really know what construction management software means, to be honest with you.
Well, when you have a giant commercial project in construction, you've got multiple trades to manage and money lines. I assume that's what it does. And I think Procore does it the best.
That would make sense. I just clicked on their website and that tracks.
I want to take the spot of the CEO time one time for Procore, not even know a goddamn thing that they do, and just nail the interview with Steve Sands.
Yeah.
I judge a company by its PGA Tour interview with the CEO.
With the CEO.
Some are electric, and some guys just melt.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a favorite CEO?
Yeah. You know what? I've only given out one.
It's not Monahan.
No, he gets a 1.2. But no, I gave a 10 out of 10 out once. I don't know. It's definitely not Charles Schwab. I think it was the AT&T CEO. He was legit, or she was legit. One of those. They're just smooth. It's not like, sloppy CEO corporate hocus pocus. But we are at the Procore, and I like this course. I mean, I like the field is okay. It's historically been unusual winners like Cam Champ out of nowhere. Brendan Steele used to own this place. Good drivers of the ball, but then a lot of sun run and putting. And, you have Max Homa, win, top 10. But then you had guys who've won here before, like Sink, win, miscut twice. Champ, win, miscut 3 times in a row. So it's not like form is really indicative here of future success, but elaborate in the course.
Well,
I solve a Discord problem.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say also, I mean, I love the NFL. I know a lot of, just from speaking to a bunch of folks in our Discord, a lot of our subs are in full NFL mode. I have found the fall swing to be incredibly profitable over the last couple of years for me personally. I don't know why that is. I don't know. Maybe if it's people taking their foot off the gas, being focused in NFL, and then just, not really putting the legwork into golf and putting a couple, toilet lineups in and being able to take advantage of that. So I would say if you're around and care about golf content this week, I do think there's a tremendous edge, and I feel really good about my breakdown, which you can find on runpuresports.com. I'll talk about a little bit on the show, and I'll for every single fall swing event, I'll still be grinding my ass off for you guys. I do all the golf stuff. So whether we're competing with football or not and losing that battle, I will still be working just as hard as if it's Masters week during the fall swing. So anyway, on this this golf course, I mean, it's a lot of wedges and putting. It's one of the shortest golf courses on tour. And I think it's one of those golf courses where a lot of the Brendan Todds and Matt Kuchars and Eric Coles, all guys I'm sure we'll talk about, can compete. Of course, we've seen your longer hitters like Cameron Champ have success here, but I think at the end of the day, like this is all about wedges and putting. And I've catered a lot of my plays to that to fit that formula.
Yeah, and Brendan Steele was never known to be a good putter. Not like a fantastic putter, but
great wedge player.
Great wedge player, and he won at this. Well, he's close at the Sony, and his putting was elite. I remember one year we always knew he could hit fairways. At one point, one of the better ones on tour. But a great wedge player, right? Homa, when he was
great wedge player, like amazing bat POA putter. So yeah, you need one of those two things.
And with Homa, I think he found something.
Yeah.
In Colorado. Don't you think so?
I kind of agree with you. Like if you look at the full tournament stats, they're really bad. In fact, the driver was still really bad. But if you focus in on round 4, Homa played a lot better on round 4. He actually shot the round of the day. He shot 66 and led the field in approach play. So the way that I view it with Homa is, listen, first of all, there's a perfect golf course for him. He's won here twice. He finished 7th in his last appearance. So he's gone win, 7th in his last 3 appearances.
Yep.
And he got that surprise selection to the President's Club, which I was a little surprised about.
I was too.
Yeah. And I'm not sure I agree with that choice over JT, but what it means is that he's going to be hyper-focused on dialing in for that President's Cup because this is the last time he's going to play before the President's Cup. So I think it's a good buy low spot for him. Like I think he'll be significant, maybe not significantly. I think he'll be lower owned than Wyndham and Sahith. And he's in core consideration for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that people are still a little scared off from him. I can see him being single digits potentially in this field for a guy that's won twice and top 10. And I think he's back on Twitter, feels a little loose, and shot a 67, which we predicted on Sunday at the BMW. And I think he's in play. The interesting thing was Thigala won here, but he's a great wedge player.
He is. And he had a phenomenal putting performance that year as well. He gained over 8 strokes putting. He's a West Coast guy too, right? Like these Homa, Sahith, both were, I don't know exactly where Sahith was born. I know that he went to Pepperdine. Homa is obviously he's born in the Los Angeles area and went to Cal. Very, very familiar on these West Coast POA greens. I actually filtered out, the best West Coast players over the last 5 years. If you want that top 5, it kind of may surprise you. It kind of may not. Number 1, Homa. Number 2, Tom Hoagie, which kind of surprised me, although he's played really good at Pebble Beach before. Number 3, Sahith. Number 4, Brendan Todd. Number 5, Bo Hostler. Number 6
Hostler in the field. I didn't even see yet.
Yeah, number 6, Matt McNeely, who has played great here, has played great at Pebble Beach. So those are the best West Coast guys. Homa obviously at the top of that list.
Hostler was running away at the tournament recently.
Wyndham.
The Wyndham. I can't not play Hostler. I hate playing Hostler, but I hate playing McNeely more. I think McNeely is just a scam.
Overpriced this week, in my opinion. 9,400's fine, but 22-1 in the betting market, that is a big no thanks for me.
No
thanks. McNeely. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that, Brendan Steele does well here because he's a very accurate driver of the ball. So I always correlated to that, hit fairways. It is tree-lined parklands. Don't let it fool you. What kind of trees are they? Let's make it up.
Redwoods.
Cork.
I'm familiar with that area. Like I have never played Silverado, but I've played a fair amount of. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the Napa area because my girlfriend's family has a place nearby in a town called Calistoga. So I spend a lot of. I don't drink wine anymore, but I've spent a lot of time in wine country.
I haven't had a glass of wine in my life.
And that's a lie. I don't believe you.
I swear on my life, I had.
You've not had one glass of wine ever.
I've had one sip of wine. I had not had one full glass of wine in my life.
Why did you never feel compelled to ever have wine?
Because it's terrible.
So what's your favorite alcohol of choice? Like if you're, I know you don't drink that much either yourself anymore, but like if you're saying like, okay, you know what, I'm going to let loose. What's your alcohol of choice?
Kettle One and soda, the splash of Red Bull.
Yeah, it's a good it's a good answer. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm hammered right now.
That's right.
It's a good answer.
No, I always, by the way, we should just make up trees every week. Like cork trees are at Colonial.
Yeah, those are the ones at Colonial and in Texas.
I'm like, there's no cork trees in Napa. But no, I always assumed because Brendan Steele was a very accurate driver of the ball that took that skill set in Napa. Fortinet. It's always been it'll always be known to me as the safe way here. But then you have a guy like Thigala who's not terribly accurate off the tee. Norris champ.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the wedge play and sun running some putting is the game.
Yeah.
So up top, it surprises me Corey Connors doesn't do well here.
Yeah, he hasn't. Actually, that's a lie. He's played here a couple times. I mean, he's been fine. He just like he's not really a West Coast guy. He's got 4 appearances here, 2 of 4 cuts, 1 top 15 finish at 13th in 2020. So you're right. It's been a bit underwhelming. If I go to my West Coast rankings, Corey Connors is like, I mean, in this field, I can look. It looks pretty bad. He's 58th.
Number 1.
Homa.
Yeah.
He's 58th. So he hasn't played a lot of great golf on the West Coast. You'd think Canadians like California.
They like Arizona. That's as far as they go, though.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Taylor likes California.
Nick Taylor likes California. Nick Taylor loves Arizona, though. Let me see. Do you want to wager a guess on who the best Canadian golfer in California is?
Yeah, it's Nick Taylor. He won the Pro-Am. I mean,
you're right. Yeah, Nick Taylor is Nick Taylor's 7th in my California rankings. That's pretty strong.
I like Nick Taylor this week.
I do as well.
I also like Mackenzie Hughes. Great wedge player, great putter.
Yeah, I'm a bit. Brian, who's in the chat, has been trying to sell me on the Mac Hughes thing. I'm a lot higher on Taylor than Mac Hughes. We didn't. I didn't even get to victory lap my Scotty all in on Scotty take. Not really. I'm half joking. He was plus 115. But yeah, Nick Taylor. I'm higher on Nick Taylor than Mackenzie Hughes, but both are certainly viable.
Hey, what's better than 2 Canadians? 3. Brian's also spent a lot of time up there. Up where?
Northern California, I presume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you. Homa Minwoo is just he could be a complete.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good enough wedge player.
No. Keith Mitchell, I've got to have a resurgence of Keith Mitchell. He's too good tee to green. He's too good.
Yep. I think you're going to have to rely on your putter. I like him on more driver heavy golf courses. I don't agree that I think maybe a bit of a misnomer because Cameron Champ has won here. Yeah. I don't think this is a golf course that heavily accentuates a bomb and gouge strategy. I think you can do it, but I think there's less upside in that approach. than people may think. I don't think this golf, he's so much better of a long iron player relative to competition than he is a wedge player. And you have to minimum gain 2 strokes putting here to win, which Keith Mitchell has done once this season. So I'm a little bit lower on Keith based on the golf course fit, but I think there'll be opportunities. Like, we're going to Mexico, we're going to Utah in a couple weeks. Those are all bomb and gouge city. I'm going to wait to play Keith Mitchell there. And this week I'm going to look more towards the Eric Cole, Brendan Todd, Matt Kuchar. JJ Spawn's playing great.
That's the one I was going to nail it.
Yeah.
You. Where's he in your California ranking? He's got to be top 10.
Let me see on Spawn. I'm trying to think. Has he been good off the top of my head? Decent, like above average. He's 32nd. So, you know, in a field of 136. So pretty good.
Yeah. Spawn was playing well. I forget what tournament recently, but near the lead. I know Keith liked him a lot. You can never not sell me on Brendan Todd or JJ Spawn. I just think that those two prices are pretty high.
They are. Oh, can I give you one that you'll like also?
Eric Cole.
Well, yes, Eric Cole is actually 3rd in this list. But I also put together, this is over the last 5 years, the best players in the fall swing, which I think is useful because, you know, some players approach this part of the schedule for different reasons, right? I mean, and some players are like, man, easier fields, easier golf courses. Now it's time,
the game.
Yeah, now is, you know, time for me to either work on some things or try and go out and win these tournaments. Can you guess who the #1 fall swing player is over the last, let's see. Okay, it was 3 years. Over the last 3 years, the #1 player during the fall swing. So
have we mentioned him yet?
You have. So any event between, you know, September and late November is going to count in this.
I've mentioned him already.
You have.
It's Brendan Todd.
Close. It's not Brendan Todd. He's a Canadian.
Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes, #1.
I told you.
I
told you.
Yeah. Yeah. #1, Matt Hughes.
Buddy,
low T Taylor Montgomery, #2. Remember how good Taylor Montgomery used to be during the fall swing?
That dude will be all up in the cork/redwoods. He cannot hit the ball off the tee. No low T.
Yeah, I know, but he has been a prior fall swing killer. I just don't think we can fall for it. By the way, #3, Eric Cole, for what it's worth.
I am so high on Mac Hughes being 9 under on Thursday. What are you drinking? Wine right there?
No, this is
Napa Valley Best.
This is Diet Coke.
$2 Chuck.
Diet Coke.
All right.
Yeah.
I want Brian Kirscher to just all of a sudden show up in the screen with you at your apartment in New York.
You know, he's done it. He's been to this apartment many times in the past. You know, this is my last week in New York. I'm back to LA after this. This is it. I was in Hawaii last week for vacation. One of my best friends, one of my closest friends, is getting married in New York this weekend.
Flex.
So I'm here for the wedding.
Flex.
And then I'm going to be back in LA for the time being.
I think having a friend is the biggest flex we can never do.
Well, I dropped 2 in there. I dropped vacation and friend.
And
Hawaii.
AP said that. He's like, I got to do a wedding on Saturday. And he said, Wiley, you're so right. It pays so well to not have friends.
Okay, so I have a whole bit.
This isn't live yet, so
I have a whole thing on destination weddings, like a whole Larry David style bit, because
they're insane people.
Because the pendulum has swung, and I say this as somebody that is potentially going to get married in Hawaii because my girlfriend loves that place. But the pendulum has swung so far on these destination weddings. It is out of control.
To be like, I'm done with it.
Out of control.
Control, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, lavish attention on me at my destination wedding.
Well, it's more just like there was a time when a wedding was an afternoon, and now a wedding has turned into
a 7-day, $4,000 affair.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I was at a destination wedding in a remote island in the Bahamas earlier this year for one of my close friends. Love
Is
the
it
guy,
Brian
Jake.
Kirshner?
Not Brian Kirshner. And you look at your wallet, your bank account after, banks, totally. I was going to make that same point myself. You look at the travel, the hotel, and you're there for 4 nights. And a lot of these places in the destinations don't have a lot of hotel options. So you kind of get, anyway, whole thing. What island in Hawaii, Banks? But you can say in the chat. But anyway, that's a.
I think Brian. Do you think Brian Kirshner will ever have a destination wedding?
Well, I don't know if he's still listening. I don't know if he'll mind me saying this, but I've talked to Brian Kirshner about his relationship status. He is happily single at the moment. He is no. I said, Brian, in a perfect world, if you met the right girl, would you want to settle down, get more serious? He said, nope, not interested right now. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. Why have a girlfriend when you can bet the Procore Championship?
That's right.
You expect me to have a girlfriend and put out a Procore full betting card every single week and a Euro Tour betting card every single week.
Goddamn
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Mackenzie Hughes was the first. By the way, we wrapped that all around into Mackenzie Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes, A, would never have a destination wedding. B, the first name that stood out to me after getting back into golf, I was like, Mac Hughes is winning this week. I'm on that ship.
Number 1 fall swing player.
Minimum 1 Canadian in your lineup. Do that rule. It's like Alan Lazard last night. Min 1 Canadian.
Yeah. I really like Nick Taylor too, for what it's worth. Actually, there's a Ben Silverman too. If you're looking for like a sneaky Canadian, I'm pretty high on
Dirty
Ben
Ben.
Silverman. Yeah.
Sell me on Eric Cole. He's bugged me.
Number 1 in my model this week, Eric Cole. I highlighted him in the article. He's a great approach player, particularly inside 150 yards, a great wedge player. He finished top 5 here last year. He was pretty dominant on approach. And this is a golf course where you really don't need to hit driver. You can, but you really don't need to hit driver, and you can club down on a lot of these par 4s. A lot of these par 4s measure under 450 yards. And I think Eric Cole's biggest weapon is when he starts to get a little loose with the driver. And I think this is a golf course, as exemplified by his top 5 finish last year, where the emphasis does not fall on elite and powerful driving. It's kind of a take your medicine off the tee golf course and do the majority of your work with your wedges and putting.
Eric Cole can putt. I'll give him that.
Yeah, those are the types of golf courses I want Cole on. So,
but look at Matt Kuchar, same sort of deal.
I like Matt Kuchar too. I have no sense on ownership yet, really. Like, I'll have the ownership in the Rump Your Sports article on Wednesday morning, but
12% owned. He'll be 12 to 15% owned, I bet.
Cole, I was worried he'd be higher.
I said Kuchar.
Yeah.
I'd put Cole 10%, 10, 12%.
Oh, if he's 10%, that would make me very happy. I was worried he was going to be a little bit higher, but we'll see. It's tough to tell on these weeks because, so many people, like, how many people do you think at RPS, outside of, we have the degenerate golf only subs, but like, do you think a lot of people are going to throw in a couple golf lineups this week?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I correlated the Discord to, it's basically like a shopping mall or Vegas, and people just walk into, I want to play Baccarat. I want to play blackjack. I want to go play roulette. So people just jump in there and just observe. They're not necessarily talking, but they'll take in information.
I'll still put out all of my regular content for every event this fall swing, whether anyone reads it or not. I
love this event.
Yeah. We have 700 people watching, which is like not quite our regular season numbers, but kind of higher than I thought for the Procore on a Tuesday afternoon.
They want to hear more about destination weddings
with football going on. Yeah, we could do vacation corner. Have you been to Hawaii?
Never. I've been
Yeah,
to Puerto Rico, not Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm willing to go on the record that Hawaii's good. Like hot take, like Hawaii's an awesome place. They have really, really good fish. Like are you a fish person? Do you
Yes.
like a ahi tuna and mahi and like great fresh fish?
I don't like seafood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't love shellfish. Like I'm not a huge oysters or lobster guy, but I love like fresh ahi and mahi and salmon and stuff like that. Yeah. Hawaii has the best fish I've ever had in my life. It is true. Like you go into a supermarket there or a little fish mart and you get like just a poke bowl from their local fish mart. And it's like the most delicious, fresh tasting fish you'll ever have in your entire life. I could eat it 24/7. That's my sell on Hawaii.
Yeah. I eat pretty healthy, so I do like fish.
Yeah.
But I do judge people who drink wine, and I do judge people who drink wine and eat lobster.
Yeah.
That's my first question when I meet someone new. Do you drink wine? Do you eat shellfish?
I will say that I respect, because I have a lot of friends like this. I respect the people that like this is not for me, but I respect the people that like really know their shit with wine. Like I have a few friends that will bring their own bottles of wine to a restaurant. And to me, like that is quite, it's like 50%. It's 50%. It's 50% unbearable and 50% like what an unnecessary flex.
It's 51% unbearable. I just be like, are you fucking serious? Walk my ass out.
Let me ask you this question, Wiley. If you're at a business meeting, let's say with a random company, but a big company that is interested in some sort of partnership with Rumpier Sports.
Perfect.
And you walk into this business
meeting.
I'll
eat all the crab legs and wine they want.
And you walk into this business meeting.
Yeah, this is good.
And the guy brings his own bottle of wine.
I'd be like, that's a class move.
You'd eat it up. Yeah.
Bib. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm a slut for money. But random friend, one of my friends just all of a sudden brought their own wine. I'm out. I will literally humiliate them in a restaurant.
This is a good take. Like the people that before you can even drink it, they want to tell you about the wine.
It's all the same shit.
The wine people are going to come for you. The wine connoisseurs are going to come for you.
Except for vodka, Kettle One is the standard.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Chan Kim.
Yeah, I got more names for people if they want to hear names that I like this week.
Well, I mean, let's think about ownership. I mean, who comes in on top overall? Not in ranges, but overall.
My guess, I'm going to say that Sahith is a little bit higher than Wyndham Clark, but I think they're pretty neck and neck at the top. Yeah. What about you?
I think those two. I think Corey Connors is going to get steamed hard.
You think so? I could see it. Yeah. I mean, there's just not a lot of, it's not a lot of guys at the top. So, I mean, you could play Sahith, Wyndham Clark, and Corey Connors in the same lineup if you really wanted to.
For sure.
There's some viable options in the 6K range that I like.
In the mid range, in like the 7K range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Mac Hughes will get attention.
Yeah.
Not by this conversation, but somewhat by this conversation. But
yeah, I mean, there's just not going to be a lot of content this week.
No.
So,
but when Kirshner, you, me are thinking about it, talking about it's in the streets, like I feel some energy around Mac Hughes. Mark Hubbard, people love that guy.
Is he on the slate though?
Yeah,
because he was a late entrant.
And he's from this area, I think.
I can effort that if you want. I was gonna say in the mid sevens, I'm a big Andrew Putnam fan this week.
Yes. Andrew Putnam can putt. I agree.
Hubbard is from Denver, which is,
I think, yeah.
but he went to San Jose State, which is Northern California.
Every time in the Discord now and on shows for NFL players, what school he went to, everyone, if you notice the bit that we're doing, it's Alcorn State. Everyone went to Alcorn State. So I'm just going to say Alcorn State for the rest of the golf season. That's the last time you'll peek behind the fourth wall here. I cannot do T-Mont. I cannot do him. Cannot do it.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played golf since the Genesis Scottish Open in July, and he was horrendous. So I think it's a good course fit for him, but I think you have the ability to wait a week, see what you're getting out of him, and there'll still be opportunities to play him as we progress during the fall swing.
How is Trey Mullinax 6,800? I'm a random player, but I'm like, Trey Mullinax, what has he played last?
Can tell you. There are a lot of guys, man. I mean, there are a couple guys I like in the 6K range, but currently in my player pool, I don't have somebody below 6.7. I think a lot of I don't know if this is crazy ballsy or anything. I may end up fading Sahith and Wyndham.
Yeah, I will. I'll play Homa.
Yeah, and play Homa and go pretty balanced with like a lot of Homa, Brendan Todd, JJ Spawn, Eric Cole.
Man, there's some names down there that like there's some elite players up top and then some names I haven't seen in a year. Mm-hmm. There was one guy, I see if I get his price. Maybe you have it.
I got the prices if you need.
Okay. Let me just get it. Okay, 7,400 for this guy. I can't believe that. I've never heard
Chuck Hoffman.
Huh?
Chuck Hoffman.
I love Chuck Hoffman at wine festivals.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen recent form. Granted, it's probably Latino tour or some, Canadian tour, or I don't know. But John Kiefer.
Yeah.
Have you researched him?
Yeah.
He's finished second in like 20 weeks in a row.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Kiefer buzz.
But he's 7,400 at a PGA event.
And 80-1. I'm typically somebody that's comfortable being late on those type of guys, but
6K, 7,400. You're not. I mean, this is your first PGA event, unless he's some star. Do we know anything about him?
No, I don't. I mean, he may be a star. I don't think he's a star on the PGA Tour right now. But listen, I mean, if you're playing 150 lineups and you want to say to yourself, John Kiefer is an unknown quantity, and I'll take my chances on an unknown quantity. I get it, but I don't feel compelled to be super overweight on him.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, down here, it's a tough haul picking a 6K guy. I mean, you got Daniel Berger. He's 7K though.
He's killed me, man. Like I've tried to make the Berger thing happen a couple of times this season, and it hasn't happened for me.
Where's Ryan Moore on your list in terms of California golfers?
Dude, Ryan Moore is second in my model this week.
I knew it.
Which is very concerning.
I'm a huge Ryan Moore guy.
My numbers always love Ryan Moore. He's finished second here. He is 26th. So, he's played some good golf here. He's played some good golf in California. He's played some good golf in the fall swing. And he's a great wedge player. Can he make enough putts to keep up in this tournament remains to be seen. But I'll have some Ryan Moore at 6.8. I'll have some Ryan Moore. I'll have some Troy Merritt. I love me some Troy Merritt. And I will have, who else in the 6K range do I like? I'll even have a little bit of Martin Laird.
Marty
Laird, who will have to keep away from the vineyards.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I think that we're aligned on one Canadian at least being in the lineup. Mm-hmm. Max Homa resurgence. I love JJ Spawn.
I think that Max Homa resurgence is a bit of a hot take. Like, I didn't expect you to be on that block with me. I think that Homa will get, and this is more reason to play him in my opinion, but I think he'll be lower owned this week than both Sahith and Wyndham. Maybe not substantially, because if the Homa steam builds, maybe it gets close because there's just not that much content this week.
Right.
But I would still be surprised if he's higher owned than Wyndham or Sahith, who are just, playing better golf than him at the moment.
I was going to do a pick 6 for DraftKings right now for PGA, but they don't have the numbers.
You want to do it?
I can't do it. I have to do it Wednesday. They don't have any data up.
Okay. Bummer.
Yeah. So I think it's wait and see. Not huge contest this week for golf, but people will still jump in.
Are you going to play 150?
No.
Are you going to do any smaller entry, higher stake stuff?
I'll do a 5-5-5 maybe. And
Yeah.
just spin the wheel. There was one I was looking at. There's some single entries that aren't bad. They don't have a lot up top.
I was going to say, are you a single entry player? Do you play the 100, 200 single entry?
I will this week.
Yeah.
$25 what times 150 for 100K. So they've upped the price and they lowered the pool for 100K. People will go after that for 150, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I probably won't be in that one, but
there's the $5 150 max.
You know what I like? And this is better for, I think, if you're playing a little bit lower stakes and you're not a high stakes player, but the $10 18 max is a good contest that I haven't checked if they have it this week, but
I don't know if they do.
But that's a good contest. I'll be in those streets.
I mean, the PGA Tour didn't relent. I mean, they went after 100K for first. So, I mean, DraftKings didn't relent. 100K for first, $25.
Not bad.
Yeah. Andy got some sun. He was in Hawaii.
I was in Hawaii. They've got sun in Hawaii, I've been told. But yeah, played a lot of pickleball, a little golf.
Let's do our top 3 snake draft.
Okay. I thought that was your and Keith's bet. I don't want to intrude on your and Keith's.
No, I do it every show now.
Okay, sweet. So this is just all players in the field, regardless of price.
Regardless of price, your top 3 players. Can't duplicate. And
okay,
you can go first.
You want me to go first? Okay. Yep. I'm gonna go. I mean, there's better players on the board, but I'm gonna go with my pick to win this tournament, which is Eric Cole.
Okay. I'll go Matt Hughes.
Okay. We didn't talk about him a lot, but I think Wyndham.
Well, I get Clark 2 picks. I get 2 picks.
You're right.
Max Homa 2.
Okay. I'm going to go Wyndham Clark. We didn't talk about him a lot, but I like Clark more than Sahith. Clark's playing really good golf right now.
He is.
I haven't made a decision yet on him in DraftKings, but I think he's super, super viable.
And I feel like they come back here because they're feeling something. They know they need some work on their game. Look at the other top 30 in the Tour Championship. They're not out here.
Yeah, and
Max Homa's out here.
And Clark is President's Cup too, so he'll be dialing it in.
Plus, he sort of backtracked a little bit late in the season and then found something late.
Yep.
Sahith has the shoulder issue. Again, that's a knock on him. But
yeah.
All right, you get 2 players. You got Clark. Who else? Who's your last one?
I'll go Todd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went Mac Hughes, Max Homa. You went Clark, Clark,
Cole, Todd. That's my squad.
I'll go Todd.
I went Todd.
I can take Todd.
I thought you were going to go Spawn there.
I was going Spawn. I actually had JJ Spawn written down, but
we left Spawn on the board.
It's better when you break the rules of snake draft. That's the rules of snake draft.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Lacoste.
There you go.
Lacoste fits you great. All right, that's it. Who wins?
I'm sticking with Eric Cole.
Okay, Mac Hughes.
Sweet.
Talk to you
later, guys.